I think it's really hard to go into an event and not have decide, oh, I'm going to do, resilience, build resilience after the event. And I think that creating pre-disaster plans, right, is that weave together the different ways that we govern, how communities are designed and built. And I think there's some good examples out there. I think a good one here. Norfolk's going to be ready. Okay, I think more so than more so than other communities. I think this is a good case. I'm going to give a shout out. They should be encouraged. They should be given a break maybe on the flood insurance premiums. They should be given a break when they invest in structural protection. Okay, like a levee or a seawall. There should be some encouragement, because we tend to, I'm in the land of where the taxpayers keep paying. 25% of all the flood insurance money payouts are going to 1% of the properties. It's because they keep rebuilding and rebuilding and rebuilding over the last decade, rebuilding in the same way. And there's very little in Texas. I'm independent. I'm going to do it on my own. And but there is a responsibility, I think, and there's a cost to the taxpayers at large. Yeah. I wish the Norfolk planner was here. She could give you a much better, fine-grained answer. But they did go through a process, a stakeholder process, and they had very good visuals. They just didn't have a public hearing at night where people come to City Hall or whatever. They went into the neighborhoods. They went to and they went over a 24-month period of deep engagement across. And that I think Norfolk is more primed maybe because people are ready to do something different, like I think Houston is now. And because of that regular flooding in the city, it's just constantly occurring. So some of these places, the neighborhoods, like the yellow area neighborhoods, I think are going to be, they need special treatment and a long-range retreat. I think building codes are good, are fine, but when you're in a sea level rise prone area and we're making investments now, are we going to be living in stilts and on top of, water? I think the land use question needs to be thought about a bit more. I stayed another day to be with FEMA tomorrow because they are interested. And we're exploring how we might integrate some of this thinking, like in the community rating system, if you're actually applying looking at the network of plans and so on. So we've been doing in the Hurricane Harvey impact zone, particularly in the low capacity communities. Places like LaGrange, Texas, or League City, probably haven't heard of these, maybe you've been to the Houston area, but they want to recover in a holistic way. They want to build back better. They had issues before going in, not just vulnerability issues, but other issues. And, in terms of maybe lack of parks or lack of stormwater drainage problems, these kinds of things. They want to resolve these issues as they rebuild, because I think, like the previous speaker saying, there's an infusion of money coming in. But so we're actually working in two communities now, those two, and we're trying to figure out a way to spread it out. You can give seminars and these kinds of things, but we think it's very important that they self-evaluate. We don't go in and provide them the information. We try to, you can, if you have GIS, you can use it. If you're LaGrange, a city of 5,000, you don't have GIS, you still can use the approach that we've taken. I know there are a lot of scorecards out there. I'm trying to get it, but we're trying to, it's a practical, and working it through, I think that we're finding some success. And I think it's, that's our next step anyway. And thank you to the Association of Floodplain Managers too. They've been very, very helpful. Yeah. I'm still kind of new to Texas, but I've been learning that they don't like to be told what to do, the state agencies. And I'm coming from North Carolina, University of North Carolina, but I think, though, that FEMA could be the center point to get all the, you have HUD now, which is the CBDG block grants, which have to deliver to 50%, I guess, low income. I don't guess, I know, no. But there's a great leverage for maybe disadvantaged communities, okay? Not do a recovery just based on, it should be coordinated with FEMA to get the mitigation right with the recovery of maybe low income areas. You have DOT come in, you have Fish and Wildlife come in, you have there's so many different agencies pouring money in on the Texas coast right now. So much of it's federal that I wish we could, FEMA's in a prime position to get that going. At the local level, there's a bit of a struggle too. Sometimes the private nonprofits go in and with, well-intentioned, but sometimes you get inconsistent, with the broader, inconsistent investments between where you're going to run water and sewer and where you're going to put housing and these kinds of things. So, particularly low-income neighborhoods. Yeah.